Election 2016 is upon us, and the Iowa Caucus is the first big event. Now, I've never been to a caucus, so I guess I'm a 40-year-old caucus virgin. But that all changed Monday night as I drove to Larchwood, Iowa, population 880 in Lyon County, in the far northwest corner of Iowa. I stopped by the Republican caucus at the city office on Broadway. There were several dozen people discussing their choices. I first talked to an 18-year-old who was also experiencing his first caucus. Cole Cruz supported Donald Trump.
I walked in optimistic, but I was pretty much for Trump because I believe in his ideas. He's straightforward, speaks his mind. Also, he obviously knows how to manage money if he's a multi-billionaire or whatever. And our country obviously has a big national debt, and I figured he knows how to manage money, so could probably figure out how to do something with that.
David Schoenhardt has been to several other caucuses, or is it caucus? Either way. This is not his first caucus, so he explained how the process works.
Well, basically, a caucus is a discussion. You get the opportunity to get up and speak for the candidate you're supporting. So one person gets to speak for each candidate, and that's the presidential side of it. And then you take a vote, and then you go from there. The other part of it is that we discuss what the party platforms are going to be, that we're going to send to the county convention, and then that the county will then send to the state convention after a vote is done on the party platforms at that point. So, so in short, it's a discussion about the political issues that concern us.
About that time, we were given the results from the Republican side.
I'll just read them in alphabetical order. Jeb Bush at 0, Ben Carson 11, Chris Christie 1, Ted Cruz 30. Carly Fiorina 0, Jim Gilmore 0, Mike Huckabee 0, John Kasich 0, Rand Paul 1, Marco Rubio 8, Rick Santorum 0, and Donald Trump 21, for a total of 72. And those results have been reported to the Iowa Party headquarters already. So the winner in this district, or in this precinct, is Ted Cruz, and Donald Trump was second.
After the results were shared, I ran up the street to the Larchwood Community Center to catch the Democratic results, too.
So what I have, and I need people to confirm this, Hillary Clinton should have three delegates, is that right? From Precinct 4?
Yes.
Bernie Sanders had 13 people, which is 2 delegates.
Yay!
Mark O'Malley had 1. And then the results of Precinct 5 are Bernie Sanders, 1 delegate. So it's 3. So between the 2 precincts, it's 3, and 1.
I noticed there was a difference between the two parties and how their events worked. Sylvia Gill is a teacher at Roosevelt High School from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, just 15 minutes west of Larchwood. She's also the moderator of the Teenage Republicans and Young Democrats. She had several students attend the caucus as well.
Well, the TARS people, the Teenage Republicans, are the ones that you see here for the most part. They had gone to the Republican caucus, found out who won that, and then came over here to see what happens with the Democrats. So it's great to have the kids so politically active and interested. The Republicans get together and then vote, and it's just a matter of voting, and that's it. But the Democrats move into different corners. They have to have certain numbers, and then they calculate their delegates based upon the number of people in each group.
I had a chance to visit with Jordan Beck, the president of the Teenage Republicans.
We've been hearing about it in government class and talking about it in our meetings, so we thought it'd be great to come down here. We saw the Republicans and the Democrat Caucus and learned a lot, and definitely a great experience. Republicans seemed definitely a lot more structured. They had more motions, seconds, and more more formal in words of meeting, and then just voted on pieces of paper and counted that, whereas the Democrats seemed a lot more informal, and then with the physical difference of casting your vote by going to a different side of the room rather than handing in a piece of paper.
So you gotta literally walk across the room.
Right, and see who everyone's voting for, and
it's a little different.
Put a face to the vote, yeah.
Representing the Young Democrats was Helene Barawi.
I really wanted to go to the Democratic one, but, of course we had to go to Republicans first because I was outnumbered, but I'm really glad that we actually got to go to both because, then we equaled out.
And you got to see the announcements at both places.
Yeah, that was really exciting too. It's not what I expected. I wasn't really sure what to expect, just coming in blindsided, but it was really cool and neat to see how many people gathered here, and especially in Iowa. It's really cool to see the community get involved in the politics.
Another new voter and first-time caucus goer, Joshua Novak, had this to share.
I think everybody, at least once in their life, needs to somehow witness a caucus because it's straight up the greatest form of politics, because you have the people, you put a face to the opinions. It's not just something on TV, it's the people in your community that believe what they believe and why they believe it, and they have a passion behind it. And it's not just a TV interview, it's not just a newspaper article, it's someone who lives right next door to you that feels this way, and you get to hear why. And so it's not just a ballot that you have to sign once every 4 years. It's something you have to participate as a community.
Michaela Bergman just graduated in May, and she had a great experience for her first caucus.
It was really cool. I didn't really know what to expect because obviously I'd never done it before, and in government and stuff, you can explain it, but you can't really understand until you do it. So I really liked it.
Bergman had an interesting experience at her first caucus. At age 18, she was chosen to speak on behalf of Ted Cruz.
So they go through in alphabetical order, and nobody, no Jeb Bush, no Carson, no Christie, and then Cruz. I was like, oh, I guess I'm going first. Okay. And so I did, and yeah, so I did my homework today, and the only other candidate who had somebody talking was Trump. And we beat him by 9.
Nice.
So it was actually kind of close, but I think there were 5 or 6 candidates who actually had a vote. All the rest of them got 0, so that was interesting.
So I asked our new political star how she would describe the caucus process.
It's basically a big meeting, and you just kind of have to, when people are talking, you need to actually think about what they're saying and, not be swayed by how emotional they are, just actually think about what they're saying. And because your vote really does matter. It was decided by 9 votes, so you just go into a meeting basically and know what your values are and vote on the values.
It was a fun yet chilly night on the campaign trail as I crossed one more thing off my bucket list. Now I've been to an Iowa caucus. In Larchwood, Iowa, I'm John Small for PoliticalStorm.com.